Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to talk to you about things that I no longer purchase, so stay tuned if you want to see what those are. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell icon right next to the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future content. Okay, so let's just jump right in. I'm going to talk about, I think I have about 15 items that I no longer purchase. It is not a, I think you're a terrible person if you purchase these. It's just things that I saw that I no longer was using, but I continue to spend money on, or just things that are no longer relevant in my life. And I would actually rather take that money and put it towards maybe, I don't know, a luxury purchase down the road. So, or, you know, my savings account. That's always a nice thing too. So let's just jump right in. The first thing is coffee. Typically, I don't purchase coffee at like Starbucks anymore. I honestly can't tell you the last time I purchased a coffee from Starbucks. I did have a client that brought me one. And I met up with a friend at Starbucks a few weeks ago. She was in from out of town, and so we sat and had a coffee, and she actually purchased mine, which was really, really nice. Thank you, Kimberly. But I don't, because I have the Nespresso and I have that cool brew coffee that I really, really love. I've kind of like invested money in. And typically the only time I'm purchasing coffee is when I'm on a road trip, so I can have it with my Premier protein drink, and it's like my protein coffee. Also, if I get gift cards for Starbucks, I am not against going to Starbucks. It's more of just a money saving thing. I just was spending so much money at Starbucks, and I have great coffee here at the house, so I don't spend money on that anymore. The next thing is candles. So gosh, probably like 3 years ago, I realized that if I didn't purchase a candle that was Bath & Body Works or Woodwick, I couldn't smell it. And so I just decided, you know what, no longer am I buying candles from anywhere but there. And typically Woodwick you can find at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, sometimes in their home decor sections, home sections. So usually if I'm going to purchase one of those candles, I'll buy it there. But I don't need to purchase any candles probably for the next year or two. And the reason being, I mean, you can see I have one burning in the background. This one's the Peach Bellini. I have a whole cabinet full of candles that I purchased all on sale on the Bath & Body Works like sale that they have around Christmas time, and I am just so stocked on candles. I'm good for a while. I even found some candles in that I don't like the smell of, and so I have those set aside that I can give those to my mom and my sister, and they can enjoy them because I think they're smells that they would like. The next thing is jewelry. I have stopped spending money on jewelry. I recently downsized from a tall jewelry armoire to a dresser top jewelry box, and it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. I got rid of all the cluttered jewelry that I had that just was taking up space. I typically don't wear jewelry. You guys have heard me say this in other videos. If I do, it's typically like a small pair of earrings, maybe a dainty necklace, and sometimes like a bracelet. And I did keep a few of my like long, simple dangle necklaces just because I think those are so beautiful. And if I am going to go out, maybe wearing a dress or something, I think those would be really, really cute with that. So I kept, I think like four of those types of necklaces, and that is it. I have some of these wedding bands that I really, really love, and some Apple Watch bands. Like, I really, really narrowed it down. I did keep some, you know, a good bit of earrings, but that's because that's typically the thing that I'm going to wear. In the future, if I'm going to buy jewelry, it's not going to be costume jewelry. It'll be quality over quantity. So I'll be looking to invest in good jewelry pieces in the future, and that is just to keep like a peace of mind for myself, some mindfulness in how I'm purchasing and consuming, and also to keep my jewelry collection small enough that it can stay in that like small jewelry box. So number 4 is designer clothes. In the salon, I am likely going to bleach out or like stain and color anything that I wear. So I typically wear black a lot with a cardigan. And the cardigans that I purchase are Old Navy, Amazon, different places like that, so I'm not spending a ton of money on them. If I ever buy designer clothes, I end up ruining them literally within the first day of wearing them into work. And if I'm not wearing them into work, which is 5 out of 7 days a week for me, I wear them on the weekends On the weekends, I'm typically like lounging and in loungewear, or I'm running errands and like soccer shorts or whatever you want to call them, like workout shorts. I'm not getting dressed up. And in today's world, there's really nowhere to dress up to go. So I'm just not purchasing designer clothes. I would much rather take that money and put it in savings, put it towards a luxury purchase down the road, put it towards something for the dogs. Like, I'd rather do that than anything else. Number 5 is home decor. We have been in our house now for almost 4 years. We were in our other house about 7 years before that. So we are set on home decor. And on top of that, I have a Cricut machine and I make home decor. So if I'm needing something to hang up on the wall, I've got a way to make it. If I see something that I like at a store that's home decor, I can typically make it. But again, in the process of minimalizing and freeing up space, freeing up mental space, a lot of that for me does come to the decor of a room. And while I know I have all of this is the stuff that I use. So I am just looking to not purchase any new home decor unless it is something that I have thought about for quite some time. And there is nothing in my brain that I can think of right this second that I even need. I am set. So home decor, I'm good. Now if I got gift cards for things, if I have gift cards to spend, I would definitely look to maybe use it towards something like that if that's what the gift card was for. So like home goods and that kind of stuff. So not against it, just not currently purchasing anything. Number 6 is brand name hygiene items. Again, I'm not looking to spend a lot of money on tampons, deodorants, body wash, anything like that. I no longer purchase shaving cream, and if I did, I wouldn't look for this brand name that I'm spending a ton of money on, because most things that are packaged in like an off-brand packaging are the exact same thing as what's in the brand name. You're just paying for that brand. I get it, I hear it, I do this for purses as well, but I can justify the purses for myself. But for hygiene items, I just find like that's a really, really easy way to not spend that extra dollars, those extra dollars on something that you don't have to or need to. Number 7 is dog toys. Our dogs have tons of toys already, number 1. Number 2, we realize they only play with a certain set of numbers of those toys, like their ropes. So what my husband did was he went and bought a long spool of rope, and every once in a while cuts off a long piece of it, knots it up in different places, and they play with that forever. The only exception to this is that I get them those beef cheek rolls from Hollywood Feed. I will link those down below. They love those. It keeps them busy. They go back to them time and time again. So every time that I need to get their food for them, I typically will pick up a new one of those, and they love them. And they still have like 2 or 3 of them laying around that they still go back to and chew and tear apart, and it's so good for their teeth. But those are something that they for sure enjoy. And there's a lot of dog toys that I've purchased over the years that I'll bring home like, oh, they're gonna love it, and they don't. And then it just sits there, and then I end up frustrated because I'm tripping over it, or they're not playing with it, and so I just end up throwing it away. So I am not spending money on dog toys any longer. Number 8 is the It bag. So for me with luxury purses, you guys know I save up to purchase the purse that I want. A lot of times the purses that I see and I think that I want are ones that influencers are talking about. Let's back that up. Those influencers are typically given those bags so that they can talk them up, and those companies can make tons of money off of that bag. A lot of times they're not a functional style for my life. They're not something that I even like, but sometimes I want to get sucked in and think like, oh my gosh, I have to have it. So like, great example, the Gucci Disco Soho bag. I'll put a picture right here. It is a beautiful bag. I still go back and forth on that bag. Like, I think I want it, but I don't think it's actually functional for my life. And I have another crossbody bag that already does similar function to that. And so I don't really need to invest in it, but seeing influencers carry them makes me think like, oh my gosh, I just have to have this bag in my life. I don't. So when it comes to the It bag, I am not going for that. I am going for the bag that is functional in my daily life, something that I think is beautiful, and something that I will actually use, like reach for and use pretty regularly. So the It bag is something that I will no longer purchase. So in today's world, something else that I've stopped purchasing is movie candy. Candy that you purchase at the movies. Typically, when we go to a movie, we're gonna go to dinner beforehand, or I can take candy in my purse, which would probably be some of the Smart Sweets peach rings or sour blast buddies or whatever those are. So a smarter choice for me, or I just don't need it. In today's world, there's not really a whole lot of movies that are out and that we can go to, so it's not really a thing. Like, I stopped purchasing it a couple years ago, but in the last like months, you can't purchase it anyway. There's no need to. I mean, movie theaters are open again. We have not been back to one, but that is something that I stopped purchasing because it just seems like they just charge a ton of money for that, and I can get it at the gas station for cheaper and bring it in. Sorry, movie theaters. Number 10 is uncomfortable and cheap shoes. Now, those don't always go hand in hand. Sometimes you can buy shoes inexpensively and they're the most comfortable shoes you ever worn, and then you're wishing that you would have purchased like 10 pairs of them. That's how it goes for me. But typically your cheaply made shoe is not going to be comfortable, and this is coming from a place of I stand on my feet anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day behind the chair, and it's just not doable for me to have uncomfortable shoes. So when I purchase shoes, typically I'm spending a good bit of money on them to ensure that they are good shoes, that the refund policy is in place, that if I don't like them, I can take them back easily. And honestly, I usually find a good pair of shoes and I will purchase multiples, kind of like my Birkenstocks that I have. I got them in brown like a year and a half ago, and I just got them in black, same style, everything, because they are awesome and they are super comfortable, and I've worn them in the salon and they are just so worth the money. Number 11 is manicures. My hands are in the water and people's hair all day long, and so when I get a manicure, typically within about, I don't know, 2 days, it's chipped, it's coming off. It's just not a pretty thing to see. So I do my own manicures at home if I'm gonna do them. I have the powder dip manicure set that I can do. I also have just regular nail polish if I'm wanting just to change up the color real quick and have some color on my fingernails. Typically I go with natural nails. So I just don't spend money on manicures because while that massage is so great, it does not last on my nails. Number 12 is flowers. This one was a tough one because every once in a while I would like to pick up a bouquet of flowers. You guys, I have such a black thumb. When I get flowers home, and I know they're not designed to last but like a week usually anyway, but mine lasts like 2-3 days. They're up in a windowsill with tons of light on them, tons of fresh water. They just do not last. I'm not good at making them last, so I stopped purchasing them. I mean, that's $10 to $15 a week that you can be spending on flowers if you're doing them. And if you're me, you're spending that twice a week because, well, they die. Number 13 is sheet masks. So any of those sheet masks that you put on your face to help with moisture or blackheads or whatever, I don't purchase them. I am given them as gifts and I love doing them. I've gotten them in my, what is that? I've gotten them in the FabFitFun box. I've gotten them in the Hairstylist Club box, and I have used them. I love them, but I will not purchase them. They seem a little overpriced for what they are when I have other products that do the same thing individually, and I really, really love those. So I don't purchase sheet masks. Number 14, I think is the number I'm on. I've lost count. Makeup brush sets. I don't buy them as a set. If I'm gonna buy them, I use individual ones, and that is because there are only certain size brushes that I like to use. So I actually have quite a few makeup brushes that I need to get rid of because they came in a set and I don't use them, and or I don't know what they're supposed to be used for. So if I'm gonna buy them, I'm gonna buy the ones that I'm actually going to use and save the money and not waste it on ones that I'm not gonna use. And number 15, and this one's kind of obvious because, I mean, this is just the world we live in. I don't purchase CDs or DVDs. Everything I do is streamed. So I have Spotify, Pandora, I have Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix. We have everything we need that we can just stream, and there's no reason for me to purchase those things anymore. I don't know where you buy CDs anymore anyway. I don't think Best Buy even carries them. It's kind of creepy. So that is a list of things that I no longer purchase and spend my money on. What is something that you no longer spend your money on that you maybe unintentionally stop spending money on, or maybe intentionally stop spending money on? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for sticking around. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Protein coffee. So The next thing is dresser top jewelry box. Number 6. So it's the Hairstylist Club